I experiment with a lot of things. So like I find a lot of things to do, and I like stay busy and know how to make money in a lot of different ways because I've done so many things just from not focusing on one thing at a time.
Yeah, no, it can, especially if you're like an entrepreneur. I mean, it definitely can like add to an advantage because you gotta be moving fast and you gotta be thinking new stuff all the fucking time. Yeah,
it's definitely a perk, but it's hard to explain. That's definitely a thing to it, but I don't know. There's
drawbacks.
Because I'll start working on something. I can't tell you how many things I've started 3 quarters and not finished.
Same here.
You should see my barn. My barn is full of just
projects.
Just like, I was working on, that's the thing that I was making a month ago, and it's still there. Like, that's my biggest flaw.
I've got that habit too, man, but I feel like it's pretty easy to conquer. Like, you can
I've been getting better on it. A notebook. Having a notebook saying what you need to do. And all that.
I make lists too. That helps a lot for me because then I obsess over completing the list for the day, so it makes me actually like.
I'll stop at 3 quarters of the list,
But that's still good. That's still productive. I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah.
To even just start on the list and then like have that for the day of like if I start this list, like there's no going back.
It does give you a semblance of structure, though. I mean, it is.
It is structure. I mean, itself, right? Like,
I just get disappointed when I don't.
I have to do reminders now and shit because of like
my memory is shot.
Like my short term's not happening. Like,
dude, I have like a shockingly bad memory. It's like deteriorating. Like I want to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have the memory of like a guy who's like the guitarist in like the Rolling Stones, like there's just like I'll be looking for my fucking keys. Like this is what fucking happened the other day. I had a banana that I brought with me on a trip with my girlfriend, and I didn't eat the banana, but I wanted to bring the banana inside when we got back home, leaving the hot car. It's a ruined banana. You know?
Yeah.
That's
soggy banana.
So I thought the banana was on the passenger side, and I'm like, "Can you grab the banana before we go back inside?" And she's like, "Yeah, where is it?" And she goes, looks through the whole fucking car, and she's like, "Where's the banana?" And I'm like, "It should be on your side of the door." And she's like, "It's in your hand."
That's not even a memory thing. That's just
but
like
for 2 minutes. Like,
yeah,
for
but
like
it's not.
2 minutes, she's like rooting through the car, and I'm like. Maybe check your side. I'm holding the fucking banana in my hand.
I don't know. What's the percentage? Like, how bad is that, though, in reality compared to other people's memories? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, like...
I wonder if that's just a normal thing that
really
happens with
disturbed
people's memories, and that's just how it is.
Mild concern.
No, it happens to me, too.
Yeah.
My car keys in my hand? God, forget it.
Because we're still...
I lost them. They might as well be in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah. I got the tile things on mine, dude, and it actually gives you a gigantic
those
sense of...
awesome.
I need that.
It gives you a gigantic...
I'm going to start putting that shit on my t-shirts, too. I don't care.
The only thing is...
I'll lose everything.
It's pricey.
Put it on, like,
a big tag on the
brand new
back.
pair of shorts. You're like, I just got to put my tile in this. I can't lose these shorts.
Oh, yeah, dude. I got 2 of them for Christmas. And they've
you don't know how much you know them or how much you need them unless you have them.
Yep.
Then you find new reasons to buy more tiles.
Do you rely on them then once you have them though?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Say if I'm at a party, I have my wallet in my pocket. I have my tile in my wallet. I'll leave my wallet in a room that I know I never would remember where it is, with a good peace of mind knowing my wallet's staying there. Like if I'm at a party with a lot of people, you just tuck it somewhere, some completely random.
Yeah. So you don't have it on you, but it's there.
You hide it, yeah.
But if you need to find it, then
it's a good method.
Yeah.
Because I lost my fucking credit card going to the bar and shit. So, like, whenever I would do house parties, I would just bring cash to the bar and I would just leave all my shit except for my ID.
Yeah, the same. That's what I would do.
Because I take out my wallet and who the fuck knows what's going to fall. There's about 6 valuable things in there that, like, my debit card, my 3 or 4 fucking credit cards, my ID, my student ID. It's just like, leave it the fuck home. Take my ID and cash.
I lost my wallet on
like a drifter.
My camper right there. In the like for one day and it rained on it and shit. Like
dude, there'll be retarded shit where you'll put your wallet somewhere and it'll just. It's not even that you put it in a bad spot or you forgot. It'll just fall somewhere. So then you'll just. But when you get that and you're like start to panic, you get that initial pang of like panic. You can just open up your tile and you see exactly when it beeps for you, and it's a wave of relief, dude. It really it's expensive though, and the batteries last about 6 months. You got to buy new ones. It's bullshit. Like you could just easily charge that in. Or plug it in and charge it.
Because they want,
Yeah, but the thing is...
Are they specific tile batteries? Like little, or are they
no, it's probably a watch battery.
I don't think they do.
But they should just charge more money for the damn thing and have it last longer. And have more equity, more brand.
Yeah, I'd pay 10 more...
Makes it bigger than it has to be, with a bigger battery.
Well, rechargeable bat. Like you could probably recharge a Juul, so I feel like you could recharge something that small and keep it that size.
They should already
have
a wallet though that they can sew in like a mini Bluetooth transmitter.
Well, that's basically what a tile is, just a lid.
Yeah,
but I'm saying a wallet that just already has that functionality.
They should sell wallets. They might sell wallets too. Who knows? Maybe they sell wallets.
Most wallets now are already RFID protected now. So
definitely.
And shit. That's just like a standard. They're gonna have searchable wallets
like
now in the future. They got to. They got to.
Searchable wallets.
Yeah, that's already in the wallet, dude.
If they're Bluetooth wallets, I know you are.
Like a tile's an accessory right now. Like just make a wallet findable. Like in general, like that's got to be the next step for wallet technology.
How about they just put tile in everything?
Yeah,
at one point, everything that's worth a somewhat.
I would make tile an attractive investment.
Some decent amount of value. Yeah.
What if tiles were
worth
just
anything worth over $25? I
live in a shitty neighborhood. You can just buy a flat screen with a
30 rack of brews. Just tile that shit.
Tiles box.
Yeah.
Where's my beer?
Anyway, guys, this is BOPCAST episode 10, I think, and here we are. We're here.
Live now.
We're live. We've been live for like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so I'm starting the podcast off like that now because I don't even want motherfuckers talking about an intro or some shit. That's the intro. The intro is just like real shit happening. That's what it should be.
That's what we're talking about. We didn't even know it was happening.
Sick, guys. That's why I make it so effortless and easy. That's why I get paid to do this shit, man.
Yeah. You actually made it with that podcast shit.
What do you mean?
Like
the real shit?
You're like doing it like for real now.
I don't know. Yeah. It's something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's fun.
Kind of significant.
I get to get paid to like have. I mean, I do all the bitch work too. Don't get me wrong.
But. No, but you got to do that work to get higher up. You got to know what it takes in the little guys.
It's for me, it's easy. For other people, it's hard.
No.
Don't you feel like you just like?
What was that?
It's my phone.
Oh, it's your phone?
Yeah.
I think I must have caught it with my shoulder.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna put it right here. I always think with Sully that you could like parachute him on an island. And you could just drop him like on an island in the South Pacific, and like just a deserted island, you know, like just like an island with like one palm tree, and you fly back in your Cessna a week later, and he's got like a little coconut stand set up, and he's like selling coconuts, you know.
I found natives, dude. They love me.
He chopped down the tree, and he's like building a little shack. He's like, yeah, I'm building a shack right here. This is a fireplace, and you know, like.
I already got a job.
Do a podcast out here.
Yeah. I already started a podcast on this island. Like, they didn't even give me any supplies. The
seagulls are like bringing him back food.
They got me wire. Yeah, man.
Like, just anywhere you would put him, he would just find success, and it's mildly inferior.
I used the seagulls to send a letter to Amazon to ship me a MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
So I can start this podcast. I have no water, no food, just MacBook Pro for the podcast. I'll make it. Yeah, if I was on a deserted island with me and a podcast, I'd be fine.
Well, you need food and water. No?
Podcast supersedes natural
you can talk
health
to the
habits.
People.
I guess you get
a good couple actual health requirements. Podcast supersedes that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on a tropical island, how much could you really complain? You know?
Yeah.
Plus, if I got dropped on a tropical island, I'd be like, well, I got like a day until the
first day is sick.
Yeah, before the dehydration and the starvation hits
You're on a fast.
Like today is just
you're
vacation day.
A tropical island, and you're on a fast for a day.
Yeah,
that's the first day.
Right. Day 3, it starts to settle in and it gets real. But day 1, I think I'd be like, why'd you drop me here? Like I'm gonna die here, and I'd be like,
well, how big of an island are we
talking about? How many hours would
like a mile long, like one of those islands in the Bahamas you can buy for like.
So you can walk the whole thing in a day, easy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can walk the whole thing in like.
Not gonna find much fresh water.
You can walk the whole thing in like a half an hour.
Oh god.
So pretty tiny.
So you're definitely gonna die. Then there's not even any hope of like animals or
I give
water.
Bob 4 days.
I guess it has to be bigger.
I mean, I'll do some shit.
Do you think? How long do you think you could last? Do you think you could hunt and find shit?
I mean, if it
was
like,
not that small. There's nothing there.
Yeah, there's not. It would have to be a bigger island. But
well, I'm saying a bigger island.
You're saying like logistically, a human could survive there. How long could I survive? Like an amazing person.
A bigger island, and it has like a jungle.
Like Bear Grylls could easily live there. You're saying?
Yeah, there's stuff there to eat. Yeah. Do you think you could? But like, do you think you could like actually?
I mean, it would be a lot of luck. I feel like.
I would try to fish.
I would try to fish too, but I think it would. The fishing would be. I mean, you would have to have a line. You'd have to use your shirt to, take a string out and then make something fishing. I mean, yeah, I guess depends what kind of fish are there.
I mean, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I feel like spear fishing. If you had like a stick and you sharpened it, and you just like went on like one of those low tide, like those tide pools or whatever, and just I bet eventually.
Or you do it for a whole day and nothing happens. Imagine that. Imagine if you spearfish for a whole day in the first day.
You think it'd be that difficult?
I think it could be because nature doesn't
give us stakes were if you were like I need to eat. And this is what
I like to subscribe to the notion that there's some kind of reaction that kicks in, a primal reaction that kicks in, that kind of says, like kind of what you're talking about. Maybe is that real? I don't know, but I think it could be easily. That some
can only
kind
know
of
if you're there, really.
Something kicks in and you go, and your mind, your old brain, you're like
comes in.
All your generations of humans, 60,000 whatever years back, like kicks in, and it's like in your genes or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, how long do you think that sticks around forever? I mean, we've got to have like enough time with civilization.
Over time,
got to get comfy.
You're right.
But,
we've only had this type of civilization for like.
Well, even Roman citizens didn't have to worry about spearfishing or whatever.
Years,
You know, you could be living in 100 AD and you could still be living in a city and have food and a place you could go get a loaf of bread or whatever. Fuck.
True. You know? No, it's true.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been a while, but that wasn't even the same though. There was still a large majority of people that did crazy, like killing people, killing animals,
and those were hard,
vicious things. Just people, vicious things happened until like 2 people.
But there was still like a degree of civilization, you know. Like,
100%.
I feel like it has been in place for a while. Like,
you're right.
Maybe not all the creature comforts, but like at least like some pretty basic ones. Like, do I have water?
Or we still, but there was also like 30,000 years of like none of that. Really.
Is that how long we've been around for?
For like 60,000 years, like Homo sapiens. Yeah. I mean, if you read, it depends what. I mean, some people have different theories. You know. I mean.
Did you see that?
I read a book called *Sapiens* by Yuval Harari. It's a pretty good book.
Yeah.
And it's about the history of humankind. And I read it, and I'm like, I can't really refute this. I haven't heard anything else that sounds convincing. Like this he's a historian. Like, is he lying? I don't know, but. He says 60,000.
Can you imagine being a historian that just lies?
Something
making shit up. That's hilarious.
So I mean, like, people have though. I mean, I don't think they're lying. If they're not, it's not like they're lying. It's just their truth.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if they don't really know
their truth of history. I mean, like, you can't. Because. There's some kind of there's a place where like there's a gray area of like science ends and it goes into like interpretation, and I think that's like. That's that stuff.
Where
do we
that?
really
like
know?
30,000 years ago, or do I mean, I don't know. How sophisticated
well, some people.
It is.
I mean, it depends what religion you subscribe to as well. As like imagine subscribing to a certain religion where like everything past 20,000 years ago didn't even exist.
No, I think it's even less than that.
It depends what religion, I guess.
I think it's even less than that. I think like really. I don't know, but like from what I've heard, but like I guess you call them like creationists. That it's like humankind is only like 3,000 years old.
Yeah,
I have a buddy of mine who believes in that too. Who thinks
that.
And
but that's
no
just
records.
You're right. I mean, well, there are records, but I mean, there's records and there's scientists and there's people who have been studying it for thousands and backdating. Like they just have.
I think they have a pretty good idea. Like there is some doubt, sure, but I think they have a pretty good idea in general that.
Like the pyramids, there's a ton of questions. Do we know they built them? Mm-hmm. Like we do, like we just do. We know that
some people may argue otherwise.
Exactly. Do we not like? Do I think they did? Yes, somehow. Do I know how? No. I don't
Pyramids do make.
I have no idea.
They make me
but I think that they
though.
built them. I think that's everybody kind of agrees.
Those rocks are heavy.
Egyptians.
If you look up close to it instead of just like looking at pictures, those bricks are humongous.
No, some of them are 100,000 pounds.
Yeah. They had engineers, like modern engineers, like say that this sort of
it's impossible
for the amount they like guessed or kind of sussed out the amount of slave labor or the amount of laborers that actually would be used to build a pyramid. And they're like, this can't really be done like the way that.
How many people will it take to carry 100,000-pound brick? Like,
so what is that, like 10,000 tons or something?
10,000.
Because 2,000 pounds is a ton.
2,000 pounds. So
No.
100,000.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So 50.
No, 4,000 is a ton.
100,000 pounds of stone for each one of those
That's what you
granite
said?
blocks.
No, that's what I said. I said 100.
No.
Yeah. Some of them were 100,000 pounds. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If not, they were like 50,000 or something stupid.
Yeah. I mean, still, it's also
regardless.
equally...
Either way, we still can't figure out. Even with modern machinery, like it would be like just a crazy feat.
It would still be a bitch
insane.
to build the pyramids today.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did it in the most rudimentary way.
Yeah, or I guess, but
They didn't even use wheels. They just used like timber to roll it up the top of the pyramid.
Their neighbors, the Hittites, had a cart with wheels on it, and they were like, "Fuck that shit."
They didn't
God
like it.
would not let us use wheels, so they didn't.
Wheels
and they knew that wheels existed. Imagine going over there, right? You're trading some shit. You're trading some shit. You're like, "Yo, this fucking wheel is
like arguably the
He
most
brings one back, right? Just bow and arrow to the just arrow to the fucking. He tries to bring one back, just arrow through the skull. Can't even have that near us. Because
like
God
arguably the most important
God will
invention.
smite
Human history
you.
is like the wheel, and like the Egyptians are like, nah.
And the one guy tries to bring it over,
like,
and it just and look what I got, and then just fucking kill him.
He's
on
gonna get
sight.
a warm reception, make a nice sale, and they're like sentencing him to execution.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
They're just guarding him from the gate, like they just see him coming. Is that a fucking wheel? No.
I don't like it. I don't trust that, dude. That must have been. That makes it so much more difficult.
God will smite thee.
To move all that shit by hand, they just had it on their back.
They had to have pulleys and levers. And
the whole nine, man. Like the whole, they had like engineering, basically, like the start of it, very beginning. But then they were like, nope, sleds on the ground, let's get it. We don't even have 2x4s, but we gonna whip it up.
It's just the roughest way to build something.
I guess. I'm pretty sure motherfuckers just guessing that they did it that way, though, right? Like,
I saw the Ancient Aliens episode about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like that's like I'm not like one of those guys that would ever be like, oh, like jump to the conclusion that something was aliens. But pyramids, I don't know. I remember watching that episode and just being like, that doesn't really make sense. And that show is like 98% horseshit. But like that was the one. I think that was one. There was one maybe another one that I watched where I was like, that, we don't really know. Yeah. There was a one where he was looking at the, it was somewhere in like South America. It was like Peru, I think. Mm. And they were saying that like, and Stonehenge
what's that
is
guy's
another
name?
one.
With the big hair? Shit, what's his name? The guy that's
Ross.
always on, is that his name? The guy with the big hair?
Oh, who? Oh, on
the guy
Action
that's
Bronson show?
No, on Ancient Aliens, the real Ancient Aliens.
Oh yeah, he's not even like a
scientist or anything. He's just a dude that's on there, and he has crazy hair. He's so funny though.
Yeah, he's like a
he's
Greek
so
dude.
into it. He's like just so deep. Yeah, he's so deep.
He always has his hair, just hard gel, just like flamed up. He looks like Heat Miser.
Big time.
And he's always has like his face is bright red.
Yeah.
And he's just everything is like aliens.
And it's just he's so he's just animated.
Yeah, his name is like Giorgio Tsakis or something.
That's it, Giorgio.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like, his name's Giorgio.
And I just finished telling you that my memory was shit, but I'll remember that, like...
Oh, my long-term's fine.
So weird.
I remember shit when I was like 4.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, big time.
Remember shit when you were 4? Do you remember shit when you were 4?
I know what you're saying.
Maybe like 6. If I'm being
less
realistic.
and less,
but like pretty
the younger
long.
you get. Definitely less and less.
I have a couple from 6, but 4, wow.
I don't know. That's what I was told. Like, memory's weird, though. You don't even know if any of your memories really are.
Yeah, there's
They're all kind of foggy, because you're putting it back together from the memory of the memory. So you're using the memory of your memory to put the scene back together. So, over time, they got to fade, like you were saying. They got to fade.
Yeah, I had a couple memories as a kid that just turned out to be complete fabrications.
Yeah, 100%. And you're not even like...
I brought it up to my parents. I'm like, I remember when like XYZ, and they're like, what are you talking about? And I just...
We never even went there. We didn't even
like,
know these people.
Huge memory for me,
dreamer when you're a kid.
Yeah. Oh, big time.
Yeah, it was weird, dude. That was a weird moment.
Speaking
of weird, though, you got to check out... I was watching it today. You know those YouTube videos like top 10?
Oh yeah,
unexplained
top 10
videos?
holes.
Oh, you mean
I'll
like
be
the
in
top
there.
or the best YouTube videos?
It's no.
That was bad.
Like,
that would be a bad clip.
Like they'll show like they'll show like top 5 like when guys go into abandoned buildings and they go and check out like urban explorers. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll like run into like creepy people that are like living in an abandoned asylum or whatever. So they'll have like a top 5 videos, like top 5 creepy, unexplained whatevers. Like I'll just watch those for an hour. Like every now and again, I'll just like for an hour, I'll just be clicking on those videos. There was one about this like creature in a British sewer, and they didn't know what it was. And it was like around the corner looking, and it's got glowing eyes. But I looked at this underwater one that was like deep sea noises that like it was like the
unexplained
deep sea noises.
Yeah, no, but
it's a hole. It's a top 10 hole, and I get in.
The ocean.
I just go all the way to the end.
Terrifying, dude.
I just run when I'm like ocean.
End,
you know what I was doing the other day?
Ocean shit
shark videos.
Yeah.
I want to see sharks now.
Yeah, I giant squid one. Giant
squids. Great, great
like
ones. Jellyfish, massive jellyfish.
They'll go down into where it's just pitch darkness.
Oh,
and they'll just run into one. It'll just go right by, and you're like, holy fuck! Like that was the squid's eye passing by. That's like a 20-foot thing.
That thing's here.
It just
this
soars
is its
through
home.
the darkness.
Those are like
dude.
the most unexplained animals. Just squids. They're just
and
monsters.
jellyfish too.
I hate 'em,
They're just we don't know shit
them.
about a lot of shit in the ocean.
It'd be cool to know what's really deep down. Just
we haven't explored like 80% of the ocean. I think
we can't go to the there's places in the South Pacific that can't physically be explored yet, even like remotely, because the pressure's too great. They haven't like created an apparatus yet that can go down in those depths.
It's like anti-gravity, basically, is what you would need.
It goes down like Mariana's Trench is like 3 miles deep. Wow. And they'll have like they can
send lidar and radar down there probably.
Yeah,
right?
but what the video it was like these oceanographer these ocean it was like I forget the organization or whatever, but it was like some research some like ocean research group put a hydrophone, like a microphone underwater, and they would catch this shit like this. Like, dude, it's stupid. Like they captured it like 3,000 miles away. And it sounds like it's like electronic or something, you know. It doesn't even sound like an animal. And then the ones that sound like they're animals are even creepier because they're like, we just caught this noise coming down from 3 miles.
So it
in
could
the trench,
be like,
and then you just hear like, and they're like, what does that sound? It
underwater
pulsates at the same rate, and it happens at the same exact time every year. Why does that happen? They're like, we don't know.
That's awesome.
It's just an EDM show.
It's cool, but it's like. It's terrifying.
It's weird.
Because you really don't know. There might be some fucked
That's
up
where
shit
fucking Godzilla shit, man. That one when he comes out of the water from like 2008 or 2006 or something. When he walks out of the water, like that noise, right? Like that, like they're like listening to him underwater, and he's like walking out, and I'm like, oh shit, like that in real life, basically in real life of like weird. What the hell is that? What is that?
Where they took a picture, like a Google Maps type picture. They had a satellite, and they just.
I think I remember that one.
There was this mass that they said was the size of the Empire State Building. It was this huge mass. It was it was a shadow, effectively. It was just a dark spot in the ocean, and they were tracking it, and it was moving, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck this is.
But they couldn't. But it was so far out that they couldn't like send people out to go.
It was in a remote part of the.
There's
South
probably
Pacific,
storms and things going on.
Deep down in the ocean. Or no, actually not. This one wasn't a deep one because they actually captured the shadow, but it was out in this corner of the Pacific Ocean.
But they think it was just the shadow of it, though.
They said that it could be a school of fish, but they've never known a school of fish to gather that
in that form,
to be gathered that tightly in that size.
Yeah.
So they didn't really know what it was, but then the rest was like, dude, like it sounds like a creature, like just like faintly, and they're like they picked this up like 4,000 miles away from the bottom of the ocean. And some of it sounds like it's a spaceship starting up or something.
People think the world's 3,000 years old, and we got weird, shit flowing around.
And it might be nothing.
We got
too,
shit
but,
happening.
You know,
that
it's creepy.
There's too much unexplained shit for shit not to be going on for mad long.
Yeah. I don't know.
In my opinion, there's just too many things. There's too many things. For it to be that short of a span of time that. Like 3,000 years or something. Like
it just been around?
I feel like common sense leads you to think that it's almost more, or think that it's more. Yeah. But I don't know. People have different common sense. Obviously, everybody has different.
When were the dinosaurs around? That was like, wasn't that over the course of millions of years?
That's what they say.
Because they can carbon date the fossils.
Carbon date, it's the millions of years. I think hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, it was like the Triassic.
Crocodile's been around for like 500,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid.
You know.
Yeah.
Those are crazy.
Yeah.
Those are dinosaurs.
Well, that's a dinosaur, essentially. Yeah.
Hippos are. If you want to see
a
top 10 video, top 10 craziest
hippo videos,
they go
top
after
10 craziest hippo fights.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. People and hippos, or hippo and hippo?
Hippos just.
You know they're related.
Through anything
they're related to pigs, though.
Really?
Right? It looks like
they're
it.
Crazy dinosaur.
There's a huge
pigs.
dinosaur pig. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
with extreme aggression.
Yeah, extreme aggression.
It's like the most aggressive animal in the
world,
and
right?
one of the most dangerous in the world too. Like more than a bear, more than a lion. I'm pretty sure. Like if it's you and it, you're not it. You're not anything anymore.
Pigs are crazy in the first place, but dinosaurs,
wild pigs, wild boars,
dinosaurs.
They're shooting them down from helicopters in California.
Yeah.
They got too many.
Ted Nugent.
What are they?
Machine guns out of
they just
I remember that. Yeah. Why do they do that though? Does it fuck up the ecosystem or something?
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
The entire.
What do they do? Do they just overgraze?
They eat and demolish. They eat. They'll like eat a dog. They'll eat.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like not like a lot, but they eat a dog as much as like maybe a bear or a wolf or eat a dog.
So what makes a boar so?
They'll attack. They attack people. They like.
They have teeth. Quick? They bite.
They bite.
Some of them get huge.
Do they have tusks?
Some of them are like 250 pounds. Imagine.
But what makes
it's like 10 years old? It's like 250 pounds, like, running around in the woods, ready to just.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what makes them lethal? Like a bear is like a
species. They're an invasive species, and they're not from there.
No, so I'm saying like if you just encounter one and you're just sizing up a boar and you're like, this is just we're in the wild now. Like, what makes the boar like actually. Like it's gonna get a hold of your leg and then you're screwed.
Yeah, I think its bite and its tusks and its teeth are like as powerful as the jaw of
are you
like an alligator.
When you like see a boar in the woods?
I don't know.
They kill people. They probably like bite you or they might like hit you. I don't think that they.
I don't think they comment. It's not. It's more the ecosystem thing. I think they are aggressive if they have been before, but I don't think they're that. They're not like all out to kill people or something.
Yeah, I think if they know
they could attack you. Yeah, do
they travel in packs?
Yeah, they try. Some of them. Yeah, they do. Yeah, because that's how they kill them from the helicopters because they're in a pack.
Oh my god!
Machine guns.
Machine gun them from helicopters.
Just blasting stranglehold. Just
I would love to do that once in my life.
With the machine.
Yeah, he's playing his own music.
His own music, Stranglehold from fucking 30 years ago.
That is a good song, though.
Oh, it's an amazing song. I play it all the time, just when I'm driving. But imagine shooting.
That was so hard to listen to him, dude.
Imagine that. Yeah, he's just there.
Yeah.
Do you want to
like a boy?
I'm still nursing this one, so I'm alright.
You got me one?
Yeah.
That's fucking Ted Nugent.
I watched the Joe Rogan, Ted Nugent, and him.
It's hard. It's hard to follow him.
I loved the whole thing.
Yeah, I loved it too.
So good.
I watched it I first listened to it and then I watched it like the same day, like twice basically in the same day, just because
I like that one. I mean, he seems cool enough. He's very intense.
He makes you.
I just want to see. I just want to see how he is. It doesn't matter what he says or like.
Well, you could listen to it and know how he is. Like he's just a nice person. He's like a nice, caring, crazy rock star guy.
Mm-hmm. To me,
but
all
like really
the way that he is a culmination. Imagine you're Ted Nugent. Like you have to be a certain way. Like that's just how it. Imagine that's your culmination of all the all of the experiences you have in your life. Like I think about that and then I think about how he is and I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, even if I don't like things that he says, Yeah. You just know. You're like, that's Ted. He has to be that way.
He doesn't
have to act. That's just how he acts.
That's how he. No, but like, I wouldn't want him any other way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, even if he says some crazy shit, and I'm like, that's not even like backed by any. Like, that's just crazy Ted Nugent.
He makes you think.
He makes great points.
He makes you think like.
Oh, the vegan shit. The vegan shit was good.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He did give me a different perspective on hunting and all that shit, which I don't really. Yeah. I don't care either way. I just don't have the it's just something that I could never like have a dog in that fight. Like, no pun intended, but like it was like an I just never looked at it from that side with hunting, where he's talking about like the respect of an animal and like how like hunting is not about like it's not about the sport, it's about like respect. Like he had like a very a lot of it seemed to draw from like the way that Native Americans seem to respect.
People think it's about killing. That's why.
How you have to use every part, and I just never really knew that mentality existed with hunters. So that was interesting, but it was like. I don't really fucking care. People are gonna hunt and people are gonna hate it. It's never.
No, I think he was a bit extreme with like the way that you should care about things. Like the way he was describing. I mean,
it was interesting.
But it's true.
I could be wrong with
it's true. You'll never know. You'll never know if the truck that delivers your lettuce killed a bunny. Like you're not gonna know. But I guess the other perspective. On that, the other side of it is like, yeah, I know I won't know that, but what will I know? What can I control? Like that's what people would say in response. And so I understand both sides, like you can't feasibly say that, a tractor trailer that delivered you food didn't kill something at some point, or the farm or the tractor that's in the field that harvested it, had to kill something,
But
like,
we do know some people, we won't say names, but we know people who probably think that way. And
sure. Yeah.
I mean, no, nothing against them.
No, and I will gladly have them on this podcast. I love dissenting opinions. I like people that are strong in their beliefs of a belief that I don't subscribe to, because then I can at least try to understand it more, Like, that's the point. Yeah, I need that. I need that, man. I need that on the podcast. Good thing you brought that up.
Dissenting opinions.
As they say.
The spirit of discourse.
Yeah. It's vicious.
The spirit of discourse, dude.
Now, the podcast that I get paid to do is there's no dissenting opinions mostly. It's mostly just me absorbing information. But this one, I can do the other. I can do whatever I want.
You're not doing that on purpose. It's just, you don't really, like...
No, I love that aspect of it. I have to, like...
You don't have anybody right now that's going to be like, I disagree with you on, and I want to have, like, a deep conversation about it for an hour on your podcast. Like, that's just not available to you yet. It's not like you're blocking them out. And being
you never know.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about people. I'm just talking about the difference between podcasts, that one, it's just like, I'm always talking to somebody that knows a lot more about what they do than I do. Yeah. And they know a lot more in general.
That's sort of the point,
And with this one, I want to get people that I don't know if I know as much or as little or as, So there's more, I need to, like, leverage that, which I have tried to do. Many people won't come on here for some reason. So.
Really?
Yeah, like I've said before, like, people don't know what they're going to say or something. I don't know. Listen, it doesn't make sense to me.
These are tense times.
I don't know what I'm going to say.
I get it.
So, I'm just saying.
Swing it.
Yeah. I'll fix it in the next one. Like, fix it tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I don't have to fix it. Yeah. Like, if you can imagine this is like if you were tweeting every word you ever said. Like
you used to do that. Like, it's Sully Bob circa
10,000 tweets.
Ago.
Go back.
Everything.
Actually, don't go back and read any of them. But I mean, it's probably won't be worth your time. But they're all there. Yeah.
I don't think anybody's happy with their old social media posts. Nobody's. Nobody's.
Only people who are like straight up narcissists. Like, oh, that fucking 7 years ago. What?
All you can have is a good sense of humor about it, because none of it's good. None of it's
Go back to my old YouTube videos. You'll have a laugh.
Do you remember like some of the shit that you used to do when you were younger? That's like you look back at.
You can go watch all the shit that I did. Yeah.
But just like in general,
it's funny to laugh at yourself too. You're just
and everybody's the same way. Like everybody, everybody's been like has those embarrassing teenage moments or like preteen moments.
It's mandatory. I think it's so funny.
It hurts for everybody
awesome.
the same.
I think it's nice to think about. I think it's funny to think about it and look back and
I mean, at least you're still not like that, At least you're still not making weird decisions based on like.
That's like not wanting to check your bank account. It's like you got it. But like you have to. I know, but it's worse. But you have to just do it. Like you have to just accept it. Like this, I put myself here. Why should I try to stop myself from knowing the result of my efforts?
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, true. It is. But it is for a moment.
The bank account analogy.
Yeah.
Ignorance is definitely bliss.
Yeah, especially with Damn, how these motherfuckers are running. The whole system of learning about money is just insane. Like it doesn't calculate it. Like it just doesn't work at all.
Learning about money?
Yeah, because there's poor people. There's people who and so am I. Like I'm poor considering. Depending on who you compare me to, right? Like, or obviously. So that's a given. But we're not taught money by people who have a lot of money. We're taught money by people who get by. So what is that?
Taught money? What do you mean, like?
Taught anything about money? I guess, yeah. Like in school, I'm saying, not from your parents. I don't want to talk about your parents. I don't know what your parents taught you about.
Dude.
My parents didn't teach me. They taught me a good amount.
They
taught me a lot. I have to give my parents credit. They taught me enough about probably, or at least I learned a good amount about money. And I knew how to what to do with it and things. But in my own, to an extent, because you only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know about it. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. Exactly. That's the point I was trying to make. The schooling system is just not good with that, because these are teachers. These aren't money people. They're not experts in money. Mm-hmm. They're experts in teaching. They might have a business on the side, which is great. Like maybe they are really good with money and you get lucky, but like.
And those are the teachers.
Most of these people aren't about. We have to learn about money from people who make money, and that's their job to make, and or they love it, or they make enough money, or more than enough money, or rather, people who are good at making it. We should learn money.
Like, wouldn't high school have been so much cooler if you had if you had a guy that was ideally an entrepreneur or whatever, and he could teach a class about managing money or venture capitalism or teach you about the stock markets. I don't know. Anything
Bitcoin, it doesn't matter.
Anything that would apply
it doesn't
to
even
life,
have to be just be exactly.
Anything that would apply to life more than learning about the Civil War like 4 times over the course of like 8 years.
American history
more
8 times.
More than learning
American
about
history,
the Revolutionary War again. Or I mean, I'm never going to be a chemist. Why am I taking chemistry? Right?
The practicalities.
Why am I sweating my chemistry test when I suck at chemistry?
It's not that the practicality is lost. There just never was any. There never was an evolution of the system as it was going, as it was gaining years.
We did have financial literacy. There was like a tiny evolution, but that was
but that's like write a check.
Like balancing a checkbook, and it's like you have $700 to spend. How much money should you spend at the grocery store? I'd be like, I don't know, $800.
Dude, you don't need to balance a checkbook.
Like you don't need to take financial literacy. You're already there.
But
they should have something that's
and
like
sure,
on the
maybe
next
it did
level,
help some people. I'm not saying that it didn't.
Budgeting,
I don't want to discount
save
that.
Money or like
just understanding how markets work, understanding how investments work. What are ETFs?
Savings.
What are these?
Why should you start saving now?
What's an IRA? What's the Roth IRA? Like, what are all of these different things? Like, we weren't taught. There was no money class when our lives are what's the word? Fuck, dude. No, I'm not getting the word. Are predicated. There it is. Predicated.
Ooh,
our lives. My bad. Because I knew it was coming. Our lives are predicated on making money, but we're not taught anything about it.
Yeah, it's strange.
We're only taught external things. History, this English grammar is great. I love it. I'm a huge English guy. I even like reading history too. But we learn too much of the same thing over and over again.
And then you go to college and take English again.
Imagine how many hours you were in school in the entirety of it, and then what you learned.
Know.
And then what you learned. Imagine if after you got out of school, right, you did all of those hours again and learned the same amount. Imagine after you would be 20 years old, or you would be 40 years old, and you would know just nothing. You would basically know nothing practical for life. Yeah. Like, if we had to do the same shit we did from 20 to 40 that we did from 0 to 18 or whatever.
That we did from 20 to 40.
That we did for the next
maybe like 5-10%
18
overlap.
to 38. Yeah. If we had to do that over again, we would realize it would be not like, but we'd be older and realize, we'd actually learn nothing. Yeah. You know, like if we doubled our education, it wouldn't even help.
I don't really know what.
It has to be less. We have to actually be in school less, I think, and learn more.
Obviously, you need to have an educational. I mean, obviously, but you know, like like high school is bullshit. Everybody hates it. College is problematic right now, but it's like I spent a lot of time in school, and you know, like I've learned stuff, and it's given me a good baseline of knowledge, you know, and it's everybody should go, and school's important, but I just felt like I would have had a lot more coming out of it because I'm finishing up now. And I'm going to be done with it. So coming out of it, looking back at what it gave me and what I have and the tools that it gave me, I mean, I see a lot of time I spend in math classes that are going to be, it has no place in my life. Geometry?
Yeah.
No place in my life.
It's true.
Ever. Like, at all. You know? And you remember those math teachers would always say, like, they would always say, like, you need math in case you're at the grocery store and the power goes out. And the cashier's like, I don't know how much all this stuff costs. Can you do it for me? You know? In the age that calculators are on your phone, too. It's kind of ironic, I guess. But they're like, you need this, you know, in case civilization crumbles and somebody needs to remember all the quick maths. You know? Like, PEMDAS is, like, okay. You know, like, some baseline stuff you should know. But, like, some of those series where it was, like, B squared to, like, A, and then you have, like, the little... square root thing, and then it's over 2a squared. It's like the exponent. It's like
times 10 to the whatever power is. Yeah,
it's wasted time that you could have been taking classes.
Statistics. I'm not going in.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That was another one where it was
like I already. First of all, my job. I could almost guarantee you this. Maybe it's naive, but my job's not going to come from my school. It's not. It's going to come from me. I make the connections. I make them happen. I do it. And it's going to come from that.
Most people, really.
Yeah, and it's going to come from that. And I don't even know if my connections are going to come. Most of my connections don't come from school, if I'm being completely honest. Like, most of them don't. A lot of them have, don't get me wrong. And the first guest on this podcast I met, you know, at college. And, like, you know, and certain things would have been different if I didn't go. But there's going to be big things that happen in my life that probably weren't, a direct cause, or school wasn't a direct cause of them.
Yeah, like if you weren't there, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I mean, Miller can speak on this. Miller can speak on this better than both of us in the world of not going to school.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that the best thing about college is connections.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I've done business with people outside of college when I left. Like, I got good knowledge through it, Yeah. It's not. I learned more.
I think
in
it's
my
ultimately
trade
positive,
school.
right? Yeah.
Trade schools should be pushed instead of going to college. Because I learned more in Polytech than I did in high school.
And that's how you work, though. You work on a trade school type of curriculum. Like that, I think that's good. Like, you were happier probably doing that type of stuff every day.
Oh yeah,
right?
but I gotta tell you, we were just talking about the math.
Take a piss real quick.
I used a lot of algebra in building.
Yeah.
I used trigonometry. I used
you have to.
SOHCAHTOA. I use all that stuff.
But you probably did you know that you were gonna need to use that?
No, I wasn't thinking about it. But you find yourself in situations where it'd be a lot easier if you did know it, but you would be able to do it the other way.
It's like Spanish, man. It's like Spanish, Chinese, whatever it is.
Oh my God, Spanish, dude! I wish I paid attention to in school.
I was at Port Authority and I was getting my ticket for the bus. There was like 3 minutes till the bus came, and I'm there, I'm in line, and I'm like, shit. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, right? These two older ladies in front of me, and I say to them, hey, when's your bus? Mine's gonna come in like 3 minutes. Can I just skip? Like, I'm sorry, but I might miss the bus. Yeah. They go, Español? And I was like, all right. I was like, 5 minutos, bus, adios. She goes, de nada.
All right.
And I was like, all right. She just said, you're welcome, and then just let me through. And I was like, yes, like, it worked. But if I knew 0 words, I would have never been able to come.
Yeah, you're able to piece things together and be able to... Yeah, so there are good things that come out of it.
Yeah, but that wasn't even from... That was, like, from school, but also my conscious effort to, like, try to know a little bit. But, yeah. So what do you think is the... What was, or rather, to rephrase, what was the determining factor for you? Was there one, or was it a culmination of everything?
So, it was my second year, sophomore semester finals, and I was studying econ. Econ was the last thing I had to study for. My worst class, had to get a 70 on the final to pass, or no, maybe a 75 to pass the class. And I was studying with these 5 kids that I just, like, cheated with the whole time, and I was telling them about, like, what I did that weekend. I built this, I built that, and they're like, you know how to do that? And I'm like, yeah. And, like, you make money from that? I'm like, yeah. Then they're like, why are you in school? Then I'm like, yeah, why am I here? And I just bombed my final, and I was just like, yeah, done doing that. I'm just going to try and make money my own way. And it has been the best. I've learned more things doing my own thing, like business. I have a business now, and I've learned so much more about business than I did in all my business classes, because I already knew all those little things. I didn't need to be there for the little things. Sure, it would lead up to, like, bigger business classes where I'd learn more, but right at that point I was like, I'm learning nothing. I pulled nothing out. I just gotta go. I gotta put more time to my business, my buying and selling, building. I've just built all
Tell people what you do.
All right, well, let's see. So I have a contractor business. I'm a carpenter.
Chris Miller LLC, baby.
No, Chris Miller Contracting.
Contracting.
Yep,
okay,
odd jobs, this and that, pretty much anything. Gotcha. Buy and sell antiques, miscellaneous, this and that.
He's got things for sale, folks, and they're really dope, so go check them out.
Yeah, you can see it on the Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. Facebook
Just
Marketplace.
Chris Miller. You'll find me on the Marketplace. 100 buy, sell, trade.
Yeah, baby.
We'll
leave it in the show notes, by the way.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. I'd like to say sometimes an artist, I feel like maybe the stuff that I build is kind of
it's an art in a different form, though. Like, you're creating something with your hands, and you're, like, putting something together. Like, you know, I could sit here on I make art on my computer, so it's completely different to have to articulate it like that and have to get, like, an edge right. And
it takes a lot of time to do all of them, and you just can't do all of them at once. And then,
like what you were saying before with the projects.
Oh my God. So many 3/4 finished projects.
But do you eventually finish them? Like,
You know, probably. So say I have 10
You're not
projects.
like a hoarder with them, I don't think.
No.
You have a lot of room, but at the same time, he has a lot of room, but at the same time, he could have a lot more.
Oh yeah, stuff. No, it could be a little worse. Yeah. I push stuff. It's all about liquidity, so you know.
Exactly. So I always say.
It's all about liquidity. So I mean, I am buying a lot of stuff. I'm selling, say, 3/4 of it now, and like my barn is getting fuller and fuller. But you know, I'll try and sell this stuff by the weekend or the winter. Maybe I'll have a garage sale, sell stuff.
So it's almost like it's like a yearly / seasonal thing. Do you try to like have it? Do you have an inventory? There's like a technical business term for it, or a turnover, basically inventory turnover.
It depends on what I'm buying
for something, or like that chair, right? That one chair
the American flag chair.
Yeah. If that sat for a year, what would you do with it?
So, I mean, I had it for sale for $300, or no, it was $400. If it didn't sell in a year, $150. Someone would buy it. Actually, today when I was home, I went through all my listings on the Facebook Marketplace, found the stuff that was sitting for a year or two, dropped it 50%. You know, get it out the door. 3 things sold that hasn't sold in 2 years, and I still made money on them. Mm-hmm. So I just it's good that I have the space to store everything, because if I didn't have that, then I'd really have to push things quick and try and I'd lose money, or I wouldn't lose money, but I wouldn't make as much money on certain things and. Now, you know, I wouldn't be able to do it more or like as much as I am now. Like I'm able to do 3 days.
You have a system that works.
Yeah,
and you're gonna it's gonna get better over time. Hope you know, like that's,
recently it's been like really well. Like I'm taking it to a bit larger level than what I was doing when I was in college.
You're basically establishing yourself. You know.
Yeah, no, it's and there's a lot of people
now. It compiles because people start to realize that. You're the real deal, though. You're not doing this just to do it. Like, you're doing it because
people
it is
see
what
that
you
when
do.
they come and buy stuff. Like, I bring them in the barn, I show them what I got, then I ask them, like, are you looking for anything in particular? I find, like, I will go to auctions and flea markets, garage sales every week.
It's an upsell or the downsell, Miller. Either way, that's what you need to do. It's business, man.
They tell me what they want. I keep their number. I keep a little note. And then, you know, if I find it at a garage sale, I'll call them up real quick. Like, I got this for blah, blah, blah. And if they answer, you know.
Now, do you keep track? Do you remember what you bought everything for, or is there a book?
Yes. No, it's weird. I can remember numbers. I have a terrible memory. I was gonna say it earlier.
No, Miller has a weird numbers thing though.
I have a weird numbers thing. I will remember exactly what I bought something for 4 years ago. It'll be this will be $17.
There's like an association with a number and an item.
Do you remember it to the cent?
And it just.
Well, I don't buy things for cents, you know. If I buy it for cents,
this is buy some trade, baby.
Peasants, dude.
This is buy some trade, baby.
No, we're done with the peasant stuff.
Cash.
Done with the peasant stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I got paid in Venmo today for my job, which was interesting. 21st century is here.
You know what I got paid in the other day for?
Cash job, baby. Venmo.
We got a doobie. Yeah, we got normal paycheck, and then we got a doobie on the side.
Wow.
Not a bad job.
That's
Modern
crazy.
Business, it's here.
Modern business.
Tobacco use only. Yeah.
Yes. Tobacco,
that's crazy.
Tobacco doobie.
Yeah, tobacco doobie only. But yeah, that's crazy, man. People just gonna give you what they can give you.
Yeah.
And whatever's acceptable, then they're down with that.
Yeah, I had an argument with a guy. I'm sorry, dude. Did I cut you off really bad?
Kind of.
You can go ahead.
That was like a 6 out of 10. It could have been worse, but it wasn't great. I was gonna build
off what you were saying with. Never mind. You can go ahead, dude.
All right.
I'm throwing in the red flag.
I had a weird aside. You can just continue this.
All right.
I'll moderate. Later. Miller goes.
Wait, gotta catch. Oh, so this lady that I'm working for right now, who gave me this, I can't say names. I mean,
you don't have to say her name.
So it all came from. She was talking about. This is kind of off topic, but it's really cool. I'd like to bring it up. She was talking about how she was at the Grateful Dead show the other day, and I was there too, so we got talking. She's like, yeah, my daughter had my sister had this really bad head injury X amount of years ago, I think 20 years ago, and she can barely remember anything in her life, but she can remember every single word to every single Grateful Dead song she's ever heard.
It's a different part of your brain.
That was the one thing?
The only thing that she can remember is every single word to every single Grateful Dead song.
Wait, so she just couldn't remember her past, or did she form new memories, but just before?
No, she couldn't.
It must be state-dependent memory. It must be state-dependent because she was probably in a certain mood and a certain feeling and a certain.
I think she was driving a car. She was probably listening to
state-dependent memory, man. That must be it. There must be something to it, or it's happening in a different part of her cerebral cortex or frontal lobe or
something's
left
happening.
brain, right brain. I don't know. Language though. Language too. Language is in the left side, I believe.
You know, that's how they say if a part of the brain gets like cut out for some reason, or there's like a head injury, that the other parts of the brain will actually like pick up the slack.
It'll like try to learn how to do it. Yeah. That's which is.
It's really weird.
Like real psychology, like deep shit, not just like surface level shit, but like
not
the actual brain.
Like physiologically, it'll
you're
start
right.
to actually like
that's the
pick
better
up
word.
some of the, like I guess some of the tasks that were covered by whatever portion was lost beforehand.
But we don't even understand like how half of it works. I'm pretty sure, you know, like we understand the brain and the different parts of it and what they do, but
I don't think we understand a lot, if I can remember much from my psychology classes. I think that it's still kind of up in the air.
But the parts that we know, we're like, we think it does this. Yeah. And because they'll shut down that certain side of or part of the brain and then see what happens.
I think we got most of it covered, but there's stuff that happens that we just can't really answer yet. And I might be completely off base. We might have it covered as far as the human mind is concerned.
We can't clone cells, right? Because if we could clone cells correctly, then we don't need stem cells.
Well, stem cells are they're like the blueprint to make whatever you want.
Yeah, they're like the blank slate cell.
Yeah.
But if we could clone, can we clone them?
Well, we can't
harvest
them right
Can't
now.
make them. Yeah. So if we can't even clone a cell, like I don't know. People think that like AI is gonna like take over something. Like no, it's not. Like there's no.
We can already do cloning to a degree though.
We can clone. We can make the same
animals.
DNA, but we can't. But it's not necessarily a clone. Like is that a clone?
My mom's
I guess.
old neighbor.
But it's not the same experiences and everything, so that's not a true. Like what's a
It
true
depends
clone?
on how sentimental. So in the case of the pets, my mom's old neighbor, he ran like a plastic company, and he had like a good amount of money. He wasn't like incredibly rich, but he had a good amount of money, and they had this like lab or something that they really loved, and it passed away, and it was a while ago. I want to say like late 90s, and they were like one of the first people to like have their animal cloned.
Wow.
So from what I understand, genetically it's the same dog, but
it's the same DNA. That's
it's not necessarily the same dog, but it's gonna have maybe like the same temperament or the same sort.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we could do that to a human, would it be the same?
It's already illegal. We can't do it.
I know, but if China did it, then could
if China did
because they're going to be the ones. See, the U.S. government is going to stop the innovation for that here. Obviously, they have already without it even happening.
Well,
but China
doesn't give a shit about
doesn't matter.
Ethical.
Let's just go and make whatever we want to do.
They said there's been Chinese prisoners disappearing, and they just go into government research programs and like never reappear again.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just take them out of the prison. They'll be like, "What are you doing?" Like, "We're the Chinese government. We're just taking this guy." And they're like, "Okay, because this
what
is
are
China.
we gonna do?"
Go ahead.
I guess
they took him. He's gone.
I'm gonna have.
But they have CRISPR. That's China. That's China too, right? CRISPR, where they're like splicing.
Is that China?
Yeah, they're splicing like animal.
We talk about China like the whole country's doing like the
animal.
China as like an entire country is doing all this.
No, but they're like
the proverbial.
But they're doing
China.
they're doing it in like a weird way. Where like we're over. I feel like Americans.
Chinese people, humans of Chinese origin, are performing these acts.
No, I'm saying China is like a country. I feel like
government,
they're trying to research it in like
a
competitive way, where we're like maybe we can solve the cure to cancer, and China's like we're gonna get the cure to cancer, then we can sell to everybody and be on top. Like I feel like China.
They're actually doing. They make real moves. U.S. is like we might have flying saucers, maybe. That's all we have.
Well,
That's all we got.
China doesn't get.
China just doesn't even care. Like they're just going balls to the wall, and they don't even want to. They don't care about telling their citizens. It doesn't matter. Telling us, it doesn't matter.
It's a different. Well, it's a different culture too.
Culture and society. Yeah. So we
can't. If you look at a lot of like American values, it jives really well with American cultural attitudes towards individualism. Like we get to go to college and we get to choose what college we go to. We get to choose our major. We get to choose our employment. Everything is about your choices and your path as an individual. Mm-hmm. Whereas when you go east, I mean, it's all about. I mean, no, but like literally, there's like psychological distinctions within the culture.
Oh, and that's normal too. Yeah.
That Eastern cultures, Asian cultures usually are a lot more collective, and they'll send money back home, and it's all about how is the family doing, how are we doing as a group.
There's something to that too.
Individual needs and comforts are kind of thrown to the side.
We're too. I don't know. We're not too anything, I guess, but it's there's something to that, right?
If you want to be culturally, if you don't want to be culturally relativistic. You can say that none of it is good or bad. It's all just different.
Yeah.
It's just differences. You know?
Which has
they both have
holds weight. It holds weight. They both hold weight, but there's obviously some people in that culture. There's things that they like about our culture more that they wish were different. Yeah. And we probably have things about that. Like, at least I don't know, if we had a larger emphasis on family, I don't think that would be a bad thing. I don't think that we have a massive emphasis on family in this country.
Say the same thing. America.
In this country, there's a ton of broken family. There's it's 50% basically. Like, fucking numbers are not looking good for that.
Yeah.
Whereas there, it's like kind of, and Indian culture, I believe too, has a lot things like arranged marriages. It's like, how can you? We look at it, we're like, how is that even possible? But they're like, oh, I love her. I'm so happy. Yeah, like they don't even think about it because it's the culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy though.
It really is. You ever see those
Gotta open
tribes in Africa that have the neck stretching? That was also on My Strange Addiction. Fantastic show, by the way. My Strange Addiction is a great
it is a great show.
But this 100%. Woman was addicted to putting on. They put on these rings, Miller. They're rings they put around your neck. So what I would do is I take gold rings and I put it around your neck that actually like pushes your head up. And as your neck elongates, you add more rings to push your head further and further, and it stretches your neck.
Big time.
But it gets to the point where you need to have the rings on, or else the weight of your head is actually you would actually just walk around like this because your neck is too elongated.
Oh yeah. I remember watching videos
that's
of
that.
That's
like the height of beauty. Like in certain parts of the world, is like the longer your neck is, like that's like a sign of like,
it's like the ankle. The ankle
woman.
In some cultures is like.
Or even back then with us, you're not supposed to show your ankle. That was like if you showed your ankle, you were like a huge slut. And now we look back at it like, look
and
at
now we're like
flip
flops, sandals, barefoot, whatever.
Dude, seriously, I mean, like it is a really strong argument for postmodernism in that stuff that society creates is just comes from the ether.
Or just be. How about just be a gentleman? That's fine. That's not.
I'm just saying any standards that we have.
Yeah.
It's just.
You're right.
It does
there's
make
something
you realize
to it.
that
There's
like any
it's
like principles, values. Do we what do we emphasize and what do we not like? What's taboo and what do we allow?
Mm-hmm.
Like all that stuff is just decisions that are made by the majority, and it just gets cemented after a while, and that just becomes the norm.
Yep.
And you can't. But it's things that are just created. They don't actually exist physically in space, and that's what postmodern, like Foucault, talking about government. What is government?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thing that we created. But government is almighty. The president, there's so much respect and reverence for that office. Why? It's just created,
Yeah, and it's like...
Which doesn't... It doesn't detract from it.
That could go into a whole different conversation.
True, and we were talking about existentialism the other day, which was a great argument, or not a great argument. It was a great conversation, too.
Yeah.
And you start to realize that there's, like, these different philosophies that seem very... intriguing. Like they seem like they have, and obviously maybe the healthiest thing to do is to take a little bit from all of them, but like I don't know, you're right, like there's something about postmodern, there's something about existentialism, there's something about our modern culture and our values now, but everything's in flux all the time, which I think is that's why it's hard to get a grasp. People are like, something is this way, it might not be that way tomorrow, so Yeah, but that's kind of existential a little bit.
You could even look at like, the cultural standards that just exist between the Middle East and America, where women wear high heels as a choice. Where over in the Middle East, you'd be hard pressed to find a woman in high heels anywhere. So it's just. But when you look at that, it's like to them it's so important, but to us it's trivial. And who's right? Nobody knows. Like
the fashion you go.
That's the kind of like interesting portion of it.
Yeah.
But some people kind of use it as an excuse to say like, well, we should just throw away everything because none of it is really real. It's just things that we think are important. But that's kind of what makes up our reality. Is like like
that's what culture is, though. It's
you call 911. It's the police.
It's
the
formalities.
Police are supposed to come, like those formalities and understandings between people, like the social contract of like. You're going to go into a grocery store and pay for your milk. You don't walk out, like just having those invisible kind of barriers. It really is like the line between like the animal kingdom and like civilized.
Built that. Like we built that over time.
But a lot of it is just constructed out of the air. I mean, it's just.
I think when you're in it, you have a very biased perspective of what it actually is.
Yeah.
If we were to study a culture, true. So
cultural relativism. Yeah. So you look at people that eat grasshoppers in some Asian cultures, and you're like, that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
But to them, it's normal. So that's your perspective can't really be melded with theirs. You just have to grow up there.
That's the only way it makes sense.
It can't be reconciled.
No, but the first example of this that you get is when you go over somebody's house and their life is completely different than yours.
Yeah, on a micro scale.
Yeah, on a micro scale. And that is and then, I have a lot of, like, curiosity for things, just, like, and naturally, I don't know, that's just kind of how, I'm just curious, but that, like, builds it. That's, like, the foundation of, like, wait up. People are, like, really live like this.
Somebody lives differently from me.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a shocking, even though it shouldn't be.
But more so, I'm talking when you're, like, 8 years old or whatever, you know? Yeah, but even though. Even just going, if I go to, like, New York City, I'm like, this is crazy. It's an hour and a half from here.
Yeah.
But if I go there, I think this is kind of, people live like that. I say the same thing. But I think that's good to build your worldview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I had my big culture shock experience was going to Italy, and like just the like over here, a lot of people feel that like if you ask Americans about America, we have like maybe some of the harshest opinions about it, but like you go over to some of these European countries, and they think they're like, what is New York City like? Like, what is it like? Like they act like it's heaven on earth, and they're just like waiting to go. And I'm like, it kind of smells like feet and homeless people, and everybody seems really frustrated there, and it moves quick, and it's loud, and I don't really prefer it in general. Not to be fussy,
I go there once a week basically.
But in general, like just and their view of it, they're like, holy fuck!
It's
like,
perspective.
Like,
it's your perspective
like
on the thing. Completely could be different from somebody else's perspective on the thing.
Yeah.
That brings up to the next.
Because my perspective on Italy was like,
yeah,
everything moves too quick in America. I was like, I totally preferred it to here, and they wanted to go over there. I'm like, why do you want to leave here? You're already there.
That's like I talked
You're already where you need to be. The better part of the world. It's amazing. Get to sleep from 1 to 3 in the afternoon.
What?
Like everything closes down. Like let's chill for a couple hours. Like that's amazing.
In America,
dude.
you get to work from 1 to 3. You have the opportunity to work from. That's what they think, though. Even if they're not doing the work thing, it's in America. You have the opportunity to go to New York City.
Yeah, and plus the
and do what you want, and
too,
go to New York City and work from 1 to 3.
Yeah,
if you want to.
Yeah,
you can work 24/7. It doesn't matter, Yeah, but that's the perspective switch. That's the perspective change.
Yeah, they were clamoring to get over there and ask me all these questions about it, and I was like, I would totally prefer to be here. I was in this little village, and I felt like I was living in the 1700s.
Yeah, but maybe you would live there for a month, and you're like, oh man, I want to go back.
I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah,
I really doubt it. I mean, don't you feel like
I'm not saying that you wouldn't be like that, but
you could be like an expat, like eventually, like that you would want to go live.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that I wouldn't miss it because I don't know how I'd feel in that situation. Yeah.
Well, of course. I mean, if being in this country for so long, and it is America too, you're gonna miss some things about that.
Yeah,
but
I have a lot of good shit here. Yeah.
Let's just say that something gets fucked up, and you just don't like the cut of its jib, and you're like, I need to go to another country.
Couldn't you imagine? I can imagine myself doing that. I could.
When I went over, I was like, I could imagine this happening. I could imagine living in another country and being just a lot more happier, just switching cultures.
And many people are. Many expats are. They are. And a lot of them, maybe some of them have a ton of resentment. They're alcoholics or something. They don't like. That's everybody in any population, right?
Everybody has their different reasons, I assume. Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of anybody in any culture is going to be, on the fringe levels, on the outside.
Top 10, Italy's really good.
Bringing it back to Italy,
so cool,
go there, right? So I guess is the motto.
And I'm not even like a world traveler. I'm not trying to make it sound like I travel all over the place. That was my one big trip.
Shit, man! I went to Montana and Wyoming, and I was like, "Yep, I need to go. I could do this.
We need to explore America. I need to go explore America first.
Yeah,
there's so many places.
That's what my mom. That's what my mom been saying for like
borders there.
She's like, "You want to go to these other countries? Like, she's like, you want to go to these other countries? Why don't you just like go up the coast or go west or something? You know? I mean, it's true because we just assume that we like take what we have of America and we're like, this is America. Yeah. We might as well go somewhere else. Like, nah, man, you haven't seen, like, neither have I, but I've been to like 10 states or something, but like, that's nothing. How many
states have I been to? Not many. I've never been out west, dude. I need to go
west. West is legit, man.
I haven't been past Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Okay. I think so.
California's a trip. You gotta hit. I haven't been to Nevada, but Montana and Wyoming. Even if you just go to one of them, you'll get the experience. Like both of them is wild, but I did both in one day. Like that was, I mean, in like a 7 days.
How many states did you visit when you were doing that? When you were doing your like vacation? Didn't you?
It was
like 3?
No, yeah, it was. I went to Utah, but I didn't do anything there.
Those are cool states, though. Like I get the feeling that those states are a lot like Vermont, where you go and you're like, this isn't really much, but then when you kind of stay and settle, like there's plenty of stuff to do. It's just a different pace from. I talked to
a girl who worked there, or who worked in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is a popular tourist town in Wyoming now. Yeah. You know, it used to be kind of a small town, and it just blew up. And I talked, and she worked at this store there, and like they were selling paintings or something. I was like, "So you've been here for a while?" She's like, "Yeah, I grew up here." I was like, "Has it changed?" She's like, "Yeah, there's just more tourists, but like that's whatever." Like they don't they're in another mood.
Isn't Wyoming?
Everybody drives huge trucks. No, none of them are assholes. They're all like the majority of them are nice people. You know, and like obviously I was in a tourist town, like Montana. I was in a little bit of a smaller town, Bozeman, Montana.
What's small? What is it less population?
I went to a local bar.
Is it Montana or Wyoming?
Wyoming, there's like
more cows than people, right?
Yeah, Wyoming like is 97% government-owned land that you can't buy.
Oh my god!
So you can only in Wyoming, the ranch that I did a horseback ride on was, I think it was 200 acres. Right? That 200 acres costs like, now you could sell it for I think like $20 million or something. Yeah, because there's only 3% of the land that you can use there.
What
do
they use it for?
Exactly. What is the 97%
government? It's a land reserve. It's a reserve.
Reserve? Yeah,
the government owns it and they just keep it. She's like, you could drive. There's no roads this way, but if you drove a car through the woods somehow for 24 hours, you would never hit a road. And she's like 48 hours, 70. Ridiculous. She's like, it would take you days and days and days and days.
Maybe all the secret stuff's in Montana.
It's actually in
Wyoming,
Arizona, and Nevada. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's Area 51 shit. You know, if you watch the Bob Lazar episode, Joe Rogan, it gets a little weird, but pretty interesting stuff. I'm not an advocate, nor will I argue for it. But
I don't know.
Weird shit. But
it would make sense. Yeah.
There is. I don't know. We might. I don't know.
Why wouldn't we?
Oh, true. They're out there. It's like, do we have them? We don't know.
How many people have
We know they're out
there. Little factories in Arizona.
Little factories?
Little factories, little warehouses of people doing whatever.
It's my new rap name, Little Factories.
Little
I just produce, bro. I produce.
Little factories, dude.
I just produce.
What do factories do, dude? They produce.
Exactly. Yeah, I produce.
That's pretty good. Can we just build a whole producer persona for you?
Yeah.
Someone's going to take this.
Little factories?
That's fine. If they can take it and make it 10 times better than I would ever do it, then fucking go ahead.
All right, free title, whoever gets
free title.
Wouldn't it be amazing if there was
I produce. Yeah, straight up. Have in your SoundCloud, where you put your location, put I, the letter I, and then a capital P, produce, like it was like 2009. Yeah. Put that in the location, because you're like a badass, because you don't really put your real location.
No.
You just put I produce, and then you put Lil Factories.
Lil Factories.
Music.
Yeah.
Gmail me, bro.
Lil
Fac. FAC.
Lil Fac.
1449 at gmail.com. That's the email. I already made the email. Go steal it, somebody. I already made the email.
So specific. Does anybody else need another beer?
I'm good with it. Yeah. I'm good
with it. As in you want one?
I was referring to the Little Factories. I would enjoy a beer.
Do you want beer? You good?
Yeah, give me one.
Oh, this is a pod, baby.
Yeah, give me one, please.
Miller abides by his own rules, man.
Give me one now.
Pronto. Little Factories.
I like that.
Little olfactory. Little olfactory senses. No, but Little Factories is legit.
Little Factories is kind of a really good idea.
It's got a nice roll off the tongue. Little Factories.
Yeah, go ahead. Why are you whispering?
What was that mumbling word that you're supposed to say, Miller?
Somebody's got a phone call.
What is it?
Nah.
It's all good.
Okay. Jack, what was the mumble word?
Rutabagas.
Yeah, rutabagas.
Yeah, that's how they simulate
like
murmuring.
In the background, I'm like far away from the mic.
Rutabagas. I'll let you know post.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so...
Wait, hold on. Let me check this real quick. I'm sorry.
All right, folks who are listening and not watching, we're doing a piss break and a phone check. I'm not checking my phone.
No, I'm sorry. I hate to be rude, but my landlord just texted me. So
Jack is not being rude. I'm just letting people know what's going on. I think it's perfectly fine to check your phone on a podcast. I have no problem with it.
I wouldn't, but
I think people have obligations and they should tend to them, and however they see fit. That's my opinion.
9 o'clock, can you give me a call when convenient? That's rude, dude. I'll call you tomorrow.
Tomorrow
9
it is.
9 o'clock, I mean, come on, dude. I'm not doing business now.
Leave in the comments if somebody texted you at 9 o'clock.
Give me a call.
And said, give me a call. Would you do it?
No.
Question of the week. Jack says he
See,
won't.
I want to know what's up. Like, I've got it burning. Like, I need to know.
103.3, The Vibe.
But, on
Next
principle,
caller.
I don't want to be on the phone past 9.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing.
It's a bad precedent to set.
Exactly. Then you're telling everybody, I'll be on the phone. 10, 11.
Yeah. Call me at 12, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's... Oh, Miller's getting a phone. Dude, everybody's getting hit up right now.
Dude, we're all getting phone calls right now.
That's important to you.
Oh, it's a business call. Hold on.
Answer it.
Hello?
So, folks, we're
Pause
everywhere,
it real quick
by the way.
While he's on the phone?
Oh, you can't pause it. But,
You can't?
No, but, I mean, we could cut it later, but I don't cut it. Sorry, folks, but I'll try to actually, I'll cut the audio.
Do you want to cut it for, if he's making a phone call, I'll just call this bitch real quick. You done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, you can't go back in your word. I mean, you said you weren't down to call him after 9, so.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You're on camera, so you can't.
But I hate people that do that. Like, hey, can you call me? Like, just tell me. What is it?
I do that to people because I don't want to text. I hate texting.
But that's frightening.
Not for. I don't know. I don't think it's frightening. What? If somebody's like, "Can I call you?" If I text you, "Can I call you?" Would you be alarmed?
No, I'd be like, why didn't you just call me in the first place?
Exactly.
Oh, Miller's like...
True, Jack. That's the gripe. That's the real gripe. It's not that he has to call you. It's that he didn't just call you up.
No, but dude,
Bob, I'll just call you up out of nowhere. And
7 in the morning today? What was it?
Yeah, I
perfect.
called you at 7 in the morning.
That's what we do. Me and Miller's, most of our phone calls are at like 7 o'clock in the morning,
I knew you'd
dude.
be up and I'd be like, I gotta ask Bob this real quick. Just knowing he's gonna be awake.
You guys are You guys are like best friends. I'm talking about like
Your landlord.
I don't need to be on the phone with my landlord. Just text me.
You're right.
Whatever.
I don't even know who my landlord is.
There's certain people you just wouldn't want to get calls for that you just want to text.
Yeah,
like,
true,
I don't know.
true.
I don't like I don't like talking on the phone with the people that I like work for or like people I'm doing jobs for. I like to just either text them or just be there.
Because it's just
tell me
info.
in person.
It's just info.
Show me what needs to be. Don't tell me over the phone because then you're just gonna.
Oh, imagine them
difference.
explaining that type of work that you do. Imagine them trying to explain it over text. Like,
No,
that's impossible to understand.
Especially the person that ropes you in on the phone, because that's.
Oh my God!
What
No,
happens there
you want
is
this
like,
lady?
Yeah, that's bad too.
This lady I'm working for now, I'm like painting her whole house. She takes Adderall and she will talk to me for 30 minutes.
Been there at the job.
And not stop.
It's crazy,
like,
man.
I have to like really try and leave her house. Like, if I'm done at 4:30, if she's there, I'm lucky if I'm out of there by 4:50.
Yeah.
Like
you're you're on the clock.
I've charged her for some of it.
When I was at the shop.
No, I'm not.
I get
you have to.
If I get there at 7 in the morning and I start at 7:30, like I could have got 30 minutes worth of work done. Like it's
a
opportunity cost.
If when I was at the shop, there would be people that would come in to just bullshit, like to ask a little question about their car.
I would do that sometimes.
Yeah, but not for 24 minutes. Like that's like I know I'm still getting paid. I'm not the boss, but
is
like
it their car?
My boss is like my boss. Like I can't do that to this business. Like I need to stay. And there's certain people that work for certain businesses that they don't really care. Like it doesn't matter. They're kind of going through the motions. Like at least at my job, I couldn't do that at all. Like I could never. Like I just have to be constantly moving and doing things.
I was the same way when I worked at that.
Just by the nature of the job.
When I worked at that limousine company, we'd always have the limo drivers come in and just like want to shoot the shit. I'm like, dude, like I'm here to like when I'm here, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
And there's cameras in both of the bays. So I'm like, I can't put down 8 fucking hours if I'm.
How long are you gonna really bullshit?
If there's footage of me standing with you for 24 minutes, talking about something I don't even give a shit about.
Yeah.
You know, like.
That's why sales is weird to me because I'm doing some sales right now, and it's just like I have to try to.
Oh, that's dude.
I like it has to 3 hours has to be like come down to something in the end.
Do you want to hear the worst thing that's happened to me in a sale?
Spit it, Miller. Spit it.
So I was selling a pinball machine for someone.
It was about nothing, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt. But it was about nothing. Like this is Exhibit A. Like don't do the whole like scary phone call thing. Like if it's just an info-based relationship, just shoot me the text. You know.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
They even used to do that
More
in the
medieval
period. Send a raven. I don't need to meet you in your court and bow down.
Edgar Allan Poe was shooting ravens at
the British have crossed the narrow sea and like just send the note. You don't have to go there in person, and that's like the medieval phone call.
You might as well
just send a raven or something.
Exactly. There's a more convenient way to do this. You don't have to make it such a big deal.
Yeah.
People have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy perpetually. If you want to call me after 9, I'm busy forever.
Yeah. My phone shuts off at 9.
Yeah. No disturb mode.
Yeah, exactly. What were you saying, Miller? About this lady?
Sorry.
No, I just didn't want to. I want to make sure I didn't want to make sure all of us don't forget.
Yeah.
Because I will. I'll forget who was talking.
So I was selling a pinball machine for someone, and
what kind? Was it like a cool theme?
It was the old one?
It was like an Egyptian Cleopatra. It was like 1974. It was a nice pinball machine.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Was it neat looking or?
Oh yeah, it was sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really it was in great condition and blah blah blah. Some of the computers weren't working, so it wasn't like top dollar, but it should have been. Yeah. No, it was popular. This one guy came from somewhere in New England, and he was a lobster fisherman, and the guy I was selling it for was a huge fisherman too. And the night before, I was there at 7:30 in the morning because I had to like meet the guy. I had 14 beers the night before, and I was not ready to be there and listen to these two guys talk about fishing for an hour and a half.
Oh my god!
Before we put the pinball machine in the truck.
Oh, dude.
9 o'clock, we put the pinball machine in the truck, and I am falling asleep on my feet, about to throw up, like horrible situation.
God damn it, dude.
And
I never know what to. You never know what to get out.
Comes back to it. This has
Both
to
of them
end in me
talkers.
making money and that in a thing like something has to happen. It has to be worth it.
What can you say? Let's wrap this up.
Yeah,
like, what can you say,
exactly.
You know?
I was falling over. I was just like, I need to go. Can we just do this, please?
Yeah. You said that?
Yeah.
But that's
I was pissed, dude. I was hungover as shit. Like I just wanted to go. And then
of course.
The guy.
Your time is worth money.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody's time is worth something. The guy who I sold
it for, he gave me a
money
few
or whatever
bucks because he was
okay, that's good.
He was like, dude, that was really shitty. When I left, like I was there for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
And if I
to just load it up in the truck,
it could have taken 20 minutes.
Is there a bird?
Spider. I see you, dude.
Ooh.
He was rappelling down upon Miller.
Should have just let it go, man. Maybe he would have went straight up.
I saw it in the corner of my eye.
So you got the eyesight, bro. What do you got? 20/20 in your shit? I got like negative numbers.
But yeah, at least he gave you extra money.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but people who are like about the same shit, like I will talk to somebody about something that I care about for like an hour. That's how you get through to people. That's the best way. Is just talk about something they care about, and then they're just like gung ho. Man, if somebody talks to me about podcasts, I'll talk forever. I just know me. Like that's just me. That's what I'll do. You know, I'm talking on this podcast. That's what I do.
Yeah, dude, for sure. But I mean, Miller's situation, I identify with. It's so
straight
hardcore.
Up.
There's worse.
And you don't know what the fuck to say, and there's nothing to say. You're just trapped.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, you really
can't
are.
be an asshole.
And he could have given you no extra dollars, and what would you have said?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Sucks, man.
That's like naming your price. Like when you're young, it's hard to name your price. You know.
So were they getting into it like?
Extremely.
Extremely. But like nothing you could chime in on that.
No, this guy had
basic shit. You
heavy New England accent, just like.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, we put the 50-pound weight on the net here. We got some lobsters, yeah, and then
yeah.
The guy's like, you used that weight on that net? No way. And I was just like,
oh god, no.
I could.
Miller, did you know like 5 minutes in?
Oh, like, I knew. No, because I will be stuck with.
He knew. He sensed it. Miller has such a sense now about it.
Spidey
he just knows.
No, I mean I see it all the time. Another guy that I used to sell stuff for this other guy. I left. I couldn't deal with this guy anymore. He was like 75, Italian dude, and everything that he wanted to sell, he was like, if you were to buy this new, and it would go on about the history of this piece. Like, you'd find that chair, say that like chair was made out of wood. He was like, if you were to buy this new back in 38 when they made these at this factory, it would be $250. Like, you find this on the side of the road, dude. Like, it's not worth any money. And he'd go on, oh, I had one of these things when I was a kid and we loved it. Why wouldn't someone love it now? I'm like,
because they're not ancient.
Yeah.
They're not in the same. People have some sort of attachment.
Yeah, come on, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't even do anything.
You guys are terrible. You guys are terrible.
That's amazing, dude. There's an angry spirit in here. We need to get Zach Bagans and the GAC,
Get
the Ghost
Bagans.
Adventures crew. You ever watch that show?
Good old. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, the
I
best
got
show on television.
scared off that show.
Did you really? When you were younger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch.
We would do Ghost
Hunters.
Adventures.
I used to watch Ghost Hunters before that when I was younger, and that would fuck.
Oh
me
yeah,
up.
that's what
Come
we would do.
9:30
Ghost
bedtime.
We would do Ghost Adventures, and my friend Riley, shout out Riley, and my friend Vito. We would do Ghost Adventures, and I had night vision goggles, and I had cameras, and I had microphones. And
Dude, I did my own lockdown, my grandpa's barn. I did the same
you
thing.
told me about
I
that.
recorded
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's it though, right? Because you're under the illusion that.
I was so into ghosts when I was younger, dude.
So into.
I was terrified of them, but I was so into them.
I wanted to know. We wanted to know if it was real. That's why, right? Like that was what.
Have you ever had any ghost experiences? I've had one.
I have been in the same house where at the same time that I was there, a picture was taken, and there was a weird shit in the like it was like a clear figure.
Okay.
But I've never, as far as I know, never seen anything myself.
What about you, Miller?
Not really, but I heard a really creepy story the other day. It's from Ethan Kanzelak, and he plays football. Shout out Ethan Kanzelak. Plays football at Gettysburg, and he said they were practicing one day, and the quarterback went back for a play, and he had the ball. He's ready to pass it, and I guess I don't remember exactly how the story went, but he said the quarterback was shooken up and just forgot everything and just couldn't throw the ball or whatever, and then he had to go off the field because he felt nauseous, and then the next day the coach pulled him into his room because he was watching the videos of the practice, and he was like, how did you feel when you're on the sideline after the field? He's like, I felt a little nauseous, but I don't know, I felt a little better than I was on the field. And he's like, watch this video. He presses play, and you could see at the point when he starts feeling weird, something come out of his head and fly away.
Like an orb?
This football field is on the Gettysburg, it was on a battlefield in Gettysburg. So they think it was
a
ghost.
Football on top of the corpses of all the dead Union soldiers.
And he said you could clearly see in the video. It went viral in the school. It was in the newspapers, on the website.
That's weird, dude.
Something coming out of the player, and he could feel exactly when it was happening.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really weird? A Gettysburg thing that's really weird. We went there in middle school as an 8th grade trip or some shit, right? I have pictures that I took there, and I never developed them, and I just have the camera chilling.
You should develop them.
I know.
That could
years
be
later,
evidence,
that would be
dude.
cool. I feel like to see. Who knows? Maybe I got some shit, and it could just be on there.
What's
All
the
the
verdict?
evidence.
Do you think ghosts exist?
I don't know. Yeah, something. There might be something. I don't know. That's my.
I'm not a firm believer in all over the place.
There
but
might
maybe
be
something weird will happen
here and there.
But
yes,
I don't.
There's
think,
things
there's
we
gonna
can't
be ghosts
explain
in this room, just behind me, just listening.
There's
like,
things we can't explain. Is all I know.
I think that they do exist, but just so much less dramatically than you see on Travel Channel or in any movie.
They create
maybe
that
maybe
show.
your grandma
It's a
passes
TV
away,
show. Yeah,
and you just get a feeling where you're stressed out and you just feel calm for a moment. I think it's that sort of stuff, not
Exactly.
I saw the I don't know. But then there's some people that are I live in a haunted house and I see shit all the time. I don't know, and they don't seem like crazy people. So I've only had one experience myself, so I can't really.
There's people who say that they talk to them. What about
some
those
people
people?
I've
had experience.
Some people are weird. My sister has
Amanda
a friend.
Mooney, her mom, psychic, dude.
There you go.
Some people feel it. My sister has
Some
a friend
people feel it, man.
who I guess had this thing at his house, just oh, I feel weird, like, in this room, blah, blah, blah. And he kept on saying he felt weird in that room whenever he went in there, like, couldn't sleep in there, whatever. So supposedly something happened, like, his uncle died in there or whatever. But, like, he's been to other houses, supposedly, and it has been, like, what's up with this room over here? Like, oh, someone, like, died in there.
But, like, this room's weird, and they'll be like, somebody died in here. Right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
But, like, the other day, he was over my house, and, like, Gracie was showing him around, just like, what do you think about this room over here? I'm like, Gracie, like...
You can't do that. Like, that's not how it works.
It's like, do you feel anything in the attic? Let's go to that. I'm like...
No, how you really get them is you just bring them in and you don't say shit. And you see what they say. Yeah. That's like how you do the psychic shit with them is, too. You don't tell them anybody died.
Well, maybe they're trying to put on an act, just, like, play their cards, like... You're known as the ghost guy.
I know somebody. I won't say her name.
BOPCAST guy?
I won't say her name because she hasn't been on here yet. If she comes on here and talks about it, then I'll talk about her. But if anybody does, she does. Like, if anybody sees that, she does. As far as I know, because you can't, in your right mind. I don't know, unless she's absolutely insane off her rocker, like completely, which she's successful, like she does a lot of things, whatever. It seems just like a side thing that she doesn't even want to happen. That just happens. I don't know. I
wouldn't advocate going to a psychic to dictate decisions you make.
I wouldn't advocate that either. Yeah. All I'm saying is I know this person. That's what they say.
Yeah, and I know what you're talking about, but it's harmless enough.
If anybody does, she does, right? Yeah. So if
she seems genuine about it from what you told me.
Exactly. Yeah. No, she is. But all I can say is, hey, like I'll never know, right?
I'm open to it, but generally,
I'll never know what you're talking about.
I'm generally skeptical, there would be no way. I'm not gonna deny her whole experience. You know? Like I don't think that can be that big of like, because it seems like she speaks about it a lot. It's a huge part of her personal narrative. Like, I mean, if you're lying about that, you have to be like a sociopath or something. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I feel like she's genuinely
completely out of her mind. Yeah,
it's really what she goes through, But I don't think she's crazy. Maybe there is like a little bit of like something in touch, but I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
I don't know either. It's so hard. A weird thing.
It's saturated with scam artists. I feel like there's too many psychics that are that are shifty and just trying to take money from you, or they're just like mentalists and they kind of know how to manipulate people and they feel
in the 20s and the 30s it was popular then too, and they would have these rich people, which it might still be now. It probably still is now.
Probably
these wealthy people would have these high end psychics that they would always go to, right? And like the joke was that. That like you would go one day and your lady wouldn't be there, it would just be a different lady there, and she's like, oh, I can do it, like complete from a different country, like, oh yeah, no, it's like the same, exactly the same.
What would they do?
They would just be like, that's how you knew it wasn't real, because somebody else could just step in and like, she just went on vacation or something. Exactly. So, but that was like, but that still happens today. I know that for sure. But.
Do we say that hypnotists and psychics are the same?
No.
What the fuck goes on with hypnotism?
Hypnotism is a skill. It's a skill because it's you. You're in there. You can either allowing yourself to happen to you or not.
So do you remember, like, I think it was senior night. We had a hypnotist on our senior night.
Yeah, we did too.
So you had the people like sit up in front of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like,
I did it. I went up there and did it.
What the fuck? What is going on with that? Where they just make you like close your eyes,
dude,
and then they're like, hey Sully, fucking like twerk, and you just get up and you just do it on command, and it's like, these people exist? That's fucking freaky.
Yeah.
They're like, who wants to volunteer? I'm like, not me.
There's a guy.
Not me, dude. I don't want to be a drone.
I'll tell you the whole story about this guy.
That freaked me out.
It is very weird.
Did you volunteer?
Yeah,
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Miller did too.
I was all the way back. I'm like, you guys embarrass yourselves. I don't trust this
I thought it was funny.
I don't like this guy. I'm not doing it.
There's this guy named Richard Barker, right? I was on this freelance website that I use for freelance work, and I applied for a voiceover. Like, he got back to me. He said it was the best sample that he heard, and he ended up going with somebody else, which is, it happens all the time. It happens every day. And I was like, dude, I didn't even realize, like, you were, like, Richard Barker, the hypnotist, like, he has videos on YouTube and stuff. I had seen him before. And he goes in Central Park, New York, and, like, just gets people, like, just on the spot. But it's what you watch the videos, and the kid has no idea that's going to happen. He just and he comes out, and he's like, whoa, what happens? But you don't know at the same time. But you're allowing, imagine giving everything to just somebody. Like, you aren't in control.
That.
It's you though. There's nothing else. Like you are either ready to do it or you're not ready. Like he knows when you get up there. He knows because he'll pull people out. He'll be like, all right, you're done. You're not in. You're not in. And because he knows if you're willing to allow yourself to basically go under in quotations, you know.
But how does he like? No, but
it's a skill. It's a social skill. It's a human skill.
What happens?
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What actually happens?
It's up here. It's definitely psychological. It has to be.
But
I get what you're saying. Where like a person has to really be in that sort of suggestive. Where like I want to go into this experience.
It's suggestion. The power of suggestion, basically. Yeah.
Like I don't want some asshole like telling me to close my eyes and imagine my feet when I'm 5 years old, and then suddenly I'm like doing some ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
I just can't ever imagine.
No, people have pissed themselves. People have came in their pants. Imagine that though.
Wait, but the hypnotist didn't say that, right?
Like he induced like you're having sex with this person and then bang.
But what happens there?
No, but also
but there's people that can come just from their mind. Like they don't.
Yeah, tantric.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. So like that makes sense. Like he's just in your mind instead of you.
I don't know.
But how did you get there?
I guess I just don't.
Well, then what do you think it is? That's the most logical thing for me. I don't know. I'm
just saying I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't have enough information.
It's not the same as far as I know. It's not the same as
how do they get people like
seeing dead
stop smoking forever or like?
Yeah.
I think that's just you.
You ever see Office Space?
It goes back. I think it's you.
You ever see Office Space?
No.
It's a great movie that's based on hypnotism.
Oh, for real?
Where
I'm into
this guy goes to a hypnotist, and he's super stressed. He's in a cubicle and he's like at a shitty company and he's super stressed about his job and his boss sucks, right? Yep. And Jennifer Aniston's actually in the movie as his girlfriend.
I might have seen it before then.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. But he goes to this hypnotist and he wants the hypnotist to sort of like put this suggestion like. You're feeling more relaxed. You're feeling more laid back. You know, things like, you know, they slip off your shoulders, like the common stressors of life. And as he's getting him into this relaxed state to hypnotize him, to help him, like, be a better person, he has a heart attack. So he's stuck in that stage where he's just super relaxed about everything. So the rest of the movie, he just, like, goes into work in, like, a Hawaiian shirt, and he's like, whatever, man. He just doesn't care because he's stuck in that it's a whole movie based on hypnotism. It's hilarious too. It's Office Space. It's really good.
It's like the power of suggestion.
You had to have seen bits and pieces. It was Mike Judge. You had to have seen bits and pieces of it. That here and there, but he has a heart attack in the middle of it, and he's stuck in that little like he's too relaxed now.
Something to that.
There has to be, but I believe what you're saying, where there has to be like a willingness already existing there, where you want to participate in the experience. Someone like me. I would be like, fuck this guy. You know, what he's gonna tell me what to. I just would be too. I wouldn't be able to like.
I don't know
if
it could work with me again. Yeah. Maybe it could, but I don't know. But yeah, you never know.
Do you remember what happened at all, or you were just told
really.
afterwards?
If I'm formulating the memory, if I try to remember what was going on, I don't really remember it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just.
I remember being like this. And me seeing the dark, and then that's all I remember out of the whole thing.
See, that's fucking freaky, man. You know?
Yeah, but it could just be because I just don't really remember it. You know,
but
like
there has to be like
the next day I had more of a better memory of it.
There has to be like an evil hypnotist out there, right? There has to be hypnotists.
People with ulterior motives, yeah.
Ulterior motives.
Like you did some dumb shit, and it's just all you can remember is darkness, and you just wake up, and he's like, "Wake up," and you're like. What happened? There's got to be some douchebag out there.
You're going along with it. I'm telling you.
I'm
telling you. It's not. You're going along with it. You're going along with it. For sure. Yeah, so at least to an extent. At least to an extent.
Like
because
how do you train for that?
The ones in front of people like that, people act so differently when they're in front of people. So if you're the one that's up there, you don't want to ruin it for everybody else.
So you want to participate and kind of...
Exactly. It's all you. I'm telling you. I've been saying that the whole time. I know I said it like 50 times, but it is. It's just
saying
you.
You didn't get hypnotized then.
That's hypnotism, though. That's hypnotism. Is allowing somebody... You trust yourself that much to trust another person with the actions of your own body. It's my synopsis. Sully Bob synopsis coming at you. BOPCAST.
Interesting.
I don't know, dude. I don't trust hypnotists as far as I can throw them with my own muscles.
I'm not saying I trust the guy. I'm not sure if I'd have him, do my fucking taxes, but, or like, take my dog to the vet. But
it would be cool if you could study.
He could
study counter hypnotism, where somebody tries to hypnotize you and they leave themselves vulnerable to your hypnotism, dude. Like hypnotism judo.
Like reverse hypnotism.
That's some wizard
They're
shit.
like,
right
you're
there.
feeling very relaxed. You're feeling very relaxed. He's like, what are you doing? Stop.
You're coming back at him.
You're feeling really relaxed.
You didn't know I was a hypnotist. I'm putting you under.
You're being counter hypnotized. You're my hypnotism cage. You can't escape.
And then a third one comes in from the sky. He just falls down from the sky. I'm the real man. And he just puts both of them under.
The counter hypnotist.
Yeah, how have we not...
He was just on a park bench.
How have we not put two hypnotists together? Like
dueling hypnotists?
There's some hypnotists who have influenced studies. Who have influenced scientific studies. Because the scientists couldn't believe what they were doing. Even though it was all a joke. Or it was all a trick. Joe had a guy on, I forget his name. Yeah. Oh, I might remember it. It might come back. It'll probably come to me in about 40 seconds. But it's a unique...
He was a hypnotist guy.
Yeah, and he did it on stage.
So what are they, professional hypnotists? Mm-hmm. And it's just like an entertainment thing, right?
Yeah. And they're good at it.
Or do they have a practice where they're like, I really need to stop smoking. Can you...
Some people do that hypnotism, and other people do on stage hypnotism. Other people are world famous hypnotists. There's a whole spectrum. It's like singers. It's like rappers.
If they do the same thing to the people, why aren't they all?
That's like saying all rappers are the same, though.
No, it's not.
If they do the same thing, they do the same thing to people. They get on stage and make people feel good. That's what hypnotists do. You're right, though. They're not claiming they all do the same thing.
Because it's not like they're hitting a different spot in the brain. They're all hitting the same spot and they're all doing the same thing.
Essentially, yeah.
No, but they're
like, why can't the onstage
do you know that
person...
though? Have you seen multiple hypnotists? I don't know they're all doing the same thing.
Maybe it comes down to showmanship. Maybe some people are better at presenting it than others.
I think we all have a limited view of hypnotism, and that we can't say that they all do the same thing because we're not hypnotists. We can't say they all... I don't want to do that to them because I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's an art and it's a skill and it's a talent in itself, and we know nothing about it. So for us to say all hypnotists are the same, we don't know that. We've only seen one or two of them, and there's a lot. That's like saying, anything, all food stores are the same. Yeah, they're pretty close, but like there's probably some differences, right? Like there's that, but we haven't been to every food store, So it's like...
I don't trust them.
Yeah, I'm not saying I do either. Dude. Yeah, I kind of like them because I like entertainment.
Hypnotist?
I like entertainment.
See you later.
You're the most famous hypnotist in the world, and like people love going to see you, and they go to see you yearly all over. Like that is like there's something to that. No matter how much I dislike it or like it, like you're an entertainer and a performer, and you're really good at it. Like, and that I respect.
You know what? That might be
not saying I trust
on the right path. Maybe they are just entertainers in the end because
they
aren't.
Some will tell you.
Why haven't we heard of the evil hypnotists?
Yeah.
Because they're bad at it.
No.
probably.
No.
She's like, I had sex with
but the
this
good
guy
people rise. The
darkness.
best people rise to the top. The best people rise to the top. That's how it is. The most talented people rise to the top.
But if
the evil ones would be bad.
Like, why wouldn't you just use hypnotism to make people do what you want? Be like, give me your money.
Yeah, but that's like, why would you? That's like saying, why wouldn't you just? So you don't think you're comfortable doing what you're doing? Why wouldn't you just go out and steal shit from Walmart? You can. You're able to.
You don't think that there's any evil hypnotists out there?
Well, I'm not saying there's no evil hypnotists.
There has to be a few,
So you're saying why wouldn't good hypnotists be evil?
No, I'm just wondering where the evil hypnotists are and what evil hypnotists do. Do they run a hypnotist business and then every now and again they kind of like hypnotize a person and like...
I don't know. They're probably out there, but I've never seen one. So
what Pop was saying earlier, you have to let yourself get hypnotized.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like I'm gonna go up to you and just be like, all right, give me all your money. You can't just do one action and get someone hypnotized.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not about that for them. It's not about that. It's not about control.
Somewhere, dude.
It's not about control.
Can we do like an online search real quick?
There has to be an evil hypnotist.
It's not. Hypnotist? I mean, there's probably evil hypnotists, but there's probably I don't know. I don't think there's any horror stories about hypnotists, are there?
How about this?
How many horror stories?
How would we know?
Right. I don't know.
How would we got hypnotized by an evil person if you just black out?
Exactly. You don't know.
You just get
you're right.
There's no memory of the evil hypnotist.
Yeah,
and then we get this popular opinion that we see by Sully that evil hypnotists don't exist.
Never said that.
Okay,
you said
Sully, this is a pro-hypnotist podcast, and I'm ashamed to
be
part of it.
Hey, listen, guys, they're putting words in my mouth. I never said they don't exist. I just said that they're not. They must not be good.
No, but it is an interesting thought, right? There has to be some guy that uses it for evil.
Oh, There's,
right?
You know what? No, I think somebody did talk about that, about how there was hypnotists that used it to get girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like that, is that evil? Is that yeah? But is in a pickup artist?
Well, not evil. I'm being hyperbolic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
yeah.
You know, guys that they're like scumbags and they have a talent where it's sort of like confidence.
There's
man.
scumbag
sort of
mechanics.
Concept, right?
There's scumbag psychologists. There's scumbag doctors. There's scumbag
well,
artists.
You never hear about evil hypnotists. Is what I'm saying. You never hear hypnotist horror stories where like I blacked out and my car was gone and I signed the papers over to him.
You're right. If there was an evil doctor, it'd be all over the news.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Easily. Evil Wall Street guy.
No,
Come
but
on, too easy.
If there was an evil hypnotist that did something that bad, it probably would be on the news too. Judging by the news cycle,
you never hear about it
these days. Yeah. Judging by everything's news these days, anything is. So it probably would be. I don't know. It's like if they found Sasquatch, like they probably would be on the news. You know, well, it wouldn't be a new. It would only be news in that community, but like not really.
Have you heard of the plant in South America that like? People use it as it's like a kind of a date rape drug, but you use it on anyone. You just like if you get a whiff of it, they just instantly say yes to anything that you say, and so people. It's just a plant that grows on the street.
Where is it again? The plant
South America.
Okay.
I don't know where in South America. I forgot, but it's on Drugs Inc. the show.
Oh.
And so people just like I'll just go up to you, do that, and then you could say like, let's go to the ATM and like you empty out your bank account. Okay, I'll do that. And. It just
I've heard of that.
Jesus fucking Christ.
On Drugs Inc.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I've watched that Drugs Inc. episode probably 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I've watched every Drugs Inc. episode probably 4 times.
Yeah.
But I love that show. It's so good. And I remember that one. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember anything about it.
But I just remember.
Right, you only remember the worst part about it.
Yeah.
the best part.
I mean, there's no good parts about it.
You're right.
You just like
You're
go
right.
up,
There
the
is
person
no good
blacks out. They just like do anything that you say.
Because it's just
Crocodile
reality. Yeah, the crocodile.
Yeah.
The PCP is crazy too.
PCP was crazy, but Crocodile I had to like turn off.
That's a good clip.
Wild,
Let's use that as a clip. PCP was crazy, but Crocodile I had to turn off. BOPCAST.
I had to turn it off, dude.
Episode. Dun dun dun. Theme music. Cue hip hop.
Am I wrong? That was real shit, the Crocodile, man.
I'm adding that to the clip.
You remember? What do they use to make it? It's like bleach. It's like the most caustic materials you could ever use.
It's like bleach, a little bit of heroin,
yeah,
like a little bit of crack,
a dash of heroin, and then just 90%, something like that. But like it just like eats away. Oh my god! And of course it was like Russia, right? Wasn't that episode? It was like a Ukraine.
I mean,
or
it's
something?
not just there. I mean, it's probably in the U.S. too.
Sure.
But that episode was somewhere else. Yeah,
it seemed very Eastern European.
I like the ones where like the guy's living in his mom's basement and he's like doing the worst drugs, but his mom's just like, all right, like I got some bread, like eggs.
I made some Totinos.
I'm like, you have no idea, like what happened?
Hard
where down the line did this fail? You know, I don't know. Who am I to judge? Anyway, so we're closing on 2 hours. So.
We are.
I like to wrap them before 2 hours just so I can extract the audio from YouTube because I'm lazy as shit. And when I'm lazy as shit with podcasts, I'm not lazy as shit with the other podcasts, but with this one, I'm a little lazy. So
it'll just go on if you don't stop it.
Well, yeah, obviously Miller will keep going if I don't stop.
All right, Bob. You don't need
to. We have to get a little Miller reaction in here. This is our typical communication. So
you know what video? Wait, you know what video I watched today? I was going through old videos on my phone.
Oh no.
The video, our search term video, where I had the better search term and I made such a big deal about it. Like, I remember.
Miller just got like more results on the search, and he was just like, right?
No, I got the. We did.
Or the more specific.
We tried.
You got your search term. You got what we were looking for.
We tried figuring out what the.
I'm glad you know the details. I don't know.
You said that there's a bigger, or there more males are translators than females, and we were trying to figure it out. So we looked it up online. We couldn't find it. I don't know why, but then I was like, I found the better search term, but I showed it in the video. It was a really dumb search term. But I don't know.
But it's just one of those questions that we had.
And I mean,
that was an OG. You have to try to send that to me, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't like end it without Jack being here, so we're just gonna have to bullshit for.
Alright, I'm Jack Gallagher.
Yeah. Here I am. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode.
There wasn't really much.
This was a boys episode. I mean, honestly, there's decent clips I can pull out of this, which is good. But obviously, it's not all about that.
There wasn't any pure structure.
It's about having a podcast. I don't hate it. I do like having podcasts where I have like 10 questions, and it's like a challenge for me to have all those questions answered in perfect clip form. so I can use it for content for the company that I work for. But in this, it's like, you know, it's nice to kind of just sit here and do it, you know, because I'm going to probably do it anyway. Yeah, and I don't want to do it by myself. That's a little narcissistic, I think. Not really, but I don't know. If I'm going to do it by myself, I should probably record like 3 minutes of myself. I don't, it's probably not good to listen to me for more than that.
Yeah,
You know? I have a little tidbits of information for people that might be useful, but long form, I have to have somebody else with me.
Well, I mean, I watched your first podcast. I mean, you have to have more structure. You can't just talk by yourself.
No, but I had a book that I was explaining things from, which was good. It's like a little
book club.
Yeah, like a little book club.
Hey, this is Sully Bob's book club.
We were just talking about the difference between me just doing a podcast by myself and like how I shouldn't really, how like this is so much better to actually just have somebody to talk to. Yeah, like, because if I do it by myself, like. I'm very engaged. Like I will continue. I can talk by myself for like an hour or two on camera. Like that's fine. It doesn't matter to me. But it's probably too much. You know.
It's harder to execute, and I think
it's less entertaining. I feel like
it's less entertaining. I was just about to say it's more dynamic.
Unless I'm not Chris D'Elia, you know. Like I just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can do the talking, but the actual entertainment part of it, because this is half of it. Is people who
a funny guy. Can't entertain the people.
I don't want to call myself a funny person. Like, I don't want to do that.
Funny haha or funny weird?
A funny haha.
I can't believe it was 2 hours. It's crazy.
2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into BOPCAST episode 9, 10, 11, something like that. And so we're out here with Chris Miller at Chris Miller Does Art at Chris Miller as well. Jack Gallagher at
you have to plug
_
any of my stuff. You have to plug.
I'm not plugging any of his shit.
I don't need any.
Unfollow him if you do. If you
I'm
follow
not on
him
Instagram.
already.
I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook. But I am on Craigslist.
So unfortunately, it's past Miller's bedtime, so we got to cut this thing.
It is.
Yeah.
But
go to sleep.
He's a hardworking man. Just let him be, okay,
folks?
Let him be. Thank you for watching BOPCAST on all platforms, even the ones nobody listens to. We're literally on like 12 different ones, and it makes no sense, but like we'll just do it anyway.
You're on Dailymotion too.
100%.
Vimeo.
100%.
E-Bombs World.
Been on there.
Damn, that's reach, dude.
Bro,
E-Bombs World.
Are you kidding me? I'm like a fucking octopus, bro. My shit just tentacles.
I'm like an octopus, bro. That should be your clip for your shit.
That's a clip. We're out. BOPCAST. Peace. Have a good one.